Hello students and welcome to the Lesson 1 overview for TEL200. My name is Amy Marcos and I'm excited to talk with you about the content of our first lesson in the class. So when I record these screencast overviews, one of the things that I'll always do is start off with kind of like the big ideas of the lesson, and then we'll scroll down to the deliverables, review what you need to turn in for the lesson, and then we'll go back up and see everything else that's included in the lesson and how it's going to support you being successful with the deliverables that you need to submit. So in lesson 1, it's all about kind of getting to know the course, getting to know each other, and kind of doing an investigation of your personal strengths and weaknesses as a pre-reflection for our class. So I'm going to go down all the way to the bottom and look at the deliverables. So you have 3 deliverables due by the end of this lesson. First is you need to participate in Yellow Dig conversations. You also need to submit an assignment, which is your pre-reflection 5-paragraph essay, and then you need to take your introduction to the course quiz. So let's go up to the top and see what kind of resources you have available to you in this lesson. So first is you've got an article to read, which is called Why It's Important to Know Your Strengths and Weaknesses. So you definitely want to make sure that you get in and you read this article. It's going to help you with ideas for not only your Yellow Dig conversations, but also for your paper. Something else that you're going to see in each of our lessons is this self-check activity. And what this is talking to you about is that in lesson 7, one of your deliverables is going to be record and upload and share a video of yourself. And so you need to start thinking about what video recording software you have, either on your phone or on your computer, that you're comfortable using. You will be required to upload your video to YouTube and provide a link to your video instead of uploading the video file. And so if you're not sure how to do that, you can check out this hyperlink right here about using your YouTube account and how to upload and share videos through your ASU YouTube account. So make sure you're ready for that. Okay, Yellow Dig conversations. That's one of the deliverables for this week. And I just want to point out a few things. One is that I'm in instructor mode right now, and that's why Yellow Dig is available and we can see it and talk about it. But you'll note up here it says that this content item won't be available until noon on the first day of the lesson. And so if you're not seeing it yet in your student view, don't worry about it. It will be available to you by noon on the first day of the lesson. And so in our first Yellow Dig conversation, it's all about introductions. And so you're going to be introducing yourself, where you live, where you're from, what you like to do, any hobbies you have. And then you're also going to talk about what you think your personal strengths and weaknesses are. Also, one of the things that makes our Yellow Dig conversations really come to life and more engaging is if you can upload images or links or videos, anything about yourself or your strengths and weaknesses. So be thinking about kind of what media you want to bring to your post as well. The other thing I want to say about Yellow Dig is, of course, please make sure to review the FAQ. You can even go back to the Start Here tab where we have a whole section on Yellow Dig. We've got the FAQs again and also a video about how to use Yellow Dig. And so make sure you've checked out both of those things before you're participating in Yellow Dig for the first time and creating your pins for lesson 1. But the main point that I want to make in this first lesson for Yellow Dig is that it's important that you get into Yellow Dig throughout the lesson. So don't try to do all of your Yellow Dig work on day 1 or day 3 or day 7. You need to spread out your work across the lesson. This will allow you to get in, create a pin, see what else is up on the board, go in a few days later, see how people have responded to your pin, find out others to respond to. If you focus your time just one time across the week, you're going to have a very narrow view of your peers in the class because maybe not everybody has posted at that time. So it's important to have regular interactions with Yellow Dig across the lesson. Okay, so that's really what I want you to focus on. This first lesson is getting in multiple times across the lesson, make a pin, reply to other pins, make comments to other pins, etc. The other thing that I want to show you is that this is where you can access Yellow Dig. So if you just click on the hyperlink, it'll take you to our Yellow Dig site. Remember, don't click the red launch button. It will just load. Okay. And then just double check that you're in the board for our course. If you have multiple Yellow Dig boards for multiple courses, you might need to navigate that. You'll always see the purpose for the pins for this lesson up at the top. And so in lesson 1, we're doing introductions. And again, this is a reminder of what your pin should include. And then you'll start to see peers from our class and also maybe some of the information from me, the instructor, and some of the other instructors. Make sure when you're creating a pin, okay, this is just a reminder, when you're creating a pin, you want to make sure to choose the topic that you can earn points with. Okay, so right now there's only one topic that's available for earning points, and that's Lesson 1 Introductions. So make sure that you choose the topic for your pin that you can earn points on. Okay, so that's your yellow dig conversation. And remember, this content will be available to you starting at noon on the first day of the course. Okay. Another assignment or deliverable that you have due in this lesson is your first 5-paragraph essay, and it's kind of a pre-reflection. So there's a few things that I want to draw your attention to here. First is the rubric. It's very important to review the rubric for the deliverables in the course. And so this is the rubric here. Everything in red is specific to this first time we're using this rubric. In our course, we're going to use a series of 3 rubrics across the course. This is the first rubric for lessons 1 and lessons 2. We'll build on this rubric and have a new one for lessons 3 and 4, and then we'll build again and end with a final strong rubric for lessons 5 and lesson 6. So not only can you access the rubric, but you can watch a video about that rubric. So I would encourage you to do both so that you're really clear on what are the expectations for your essay in lesson 1 and lesson 2. Once you're clear on the expectations, then make sure you're writing to the prompt, right? So you're going to use a 5-paragraph essay format, and you're going to respond to this prompt. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What are your short and long-term goals? And how do your strengths and weaknesses impact or shape these goals, right? How do you think they're going to play out in trying to reach your goals? Now, think about it. You're writing a 5-paragraph essay. 5-paragraph essays should include an intro and a conclusion plus 3 body paragraphs. So look at this, you guys. You've got what are your strengths and weaknesses? That could be 1 body paragraph. Describe your short and long-term goals. That's your 2nd body paragraph. How do your strengths and weaknesses impact your goals? That's your 3rd body paragraph. So this is one of the prompts in our course that works really well for the 5-paragraph essay. In other weeks or in other lessons, we might have to get a little creative about how to organize the information into that 5-paragraph essay organization. But this prompt this week in lesson 1 works really well. Please, before you submit your paper, make sure you go back to the rubric and grade yourself using the rubric, right? So given the paper that you're about to submit, how would you rate yourself on connection to the prompt? How would you rate yourself on perspective? How would you rate yourself on APA formatting? So that this is not a surprise then to you when you get our scores back. This is the exact rubric we're going to be using to evaluate your work. So it's good practice to use the rubric to evaluate your work yourself before you submit it. So that's your 2nd deliverable for this lesson. And then finally, the 3rd deliverable is the course quiz. It's just a quick 5-question quiz about information on our course. And in order to be successful with this, I would strongly suggest you review everything on our Start Here tab, including the overview screencast video for the course. Make sure to review the syllabus and schedule, and then I think you're going to be really good to go for getting 100% on the course quiz. So that's lesson 1 in a nutshell. Remember, it's all about getting to know the course, getting to know your peers, and doing a little pre-reflection on yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, and your goals. You've got an article to read. You've got to think about your video recording software that you want to use for down the road in 7 weeks, and then submit your deliverables. So the yellow dig conversation, your 5-paragraph essay, and your course quiz. As always, if you have any questions about the course, about any of the deliverables, please go up here to the conversation board and post your questions there. An instructional team member or another peer from the course will respond pretty quickly and your question will be answered. If you have a question of a personal nature, just send an email to your instructional team member and we look forward to supporting you. You guys are going to rock it. I can't wait to get started on this course. Onward.